Hello everyone, Mr. Daydream here, and today I'm bringing you an exciting new challenge called the Poison Chug Challenge. Now for this challenge you're going to need yourself a bottle of poison, preferably one with skull and crossbones, because that tells you it's the good stuff. So remove the top, ooh that's a good sound right there, and begin chugging away. Cheers! Well, what else did you think was gonna happen? Hey, this isn't that bad. I can actually relax for once. Hello everyone, Mr. Daydream here. Welcome to the show. I've been doing a lot of dusting lately. I remember back in middle school how I had this group of delinquents in my English class who would always like to play a particular game of pain. I don't remember the name of it, or if it even had a name to begin with, but it worked like this. You face towards your opponent and you hold your hand out with your palm facing downwards. Then, your opponent smacks the top of your hand as hard as they can. You endure the pain, and then it's your turn to smack theirs. I think I slapped myself too hard there. You keep doing this until one of you can no longer take any more excruciating pain, thus making the other player the winner. I have participated in some of these games. Well, it wasn't much as participating as it was them dragging me into it. I mostly lost, but I did win some matches, which is not too bad for a big-nosed freak, I think. So what do you get when you combine a challenge and the internet? An internet challenge, of course. Duh. So that's what we're here to talk about today. When it comes to internet challenges, there seems to be no limit to what you can do. It can be as simple as trying to eat a spoonful of cinnamon to lighting yourself on fire. Yeah, seriously, I'm not kidding. The thing about this topic though is that it's gonna feel rather redundant to me. Why? Well, I actually made a video like this quite some time ago. Back in 2018, I made a video titled Top 10 Worst Internet Challenges. Unfortunately, it got removed by YouTube for containing footage of minors participating in dangerous activities. Even though I censored the clips and encouraged viewers to not do them, it still wasn't good enough for YouTube. Much like everything else in their eyes. I thought long and hard on what to do with the video, so I just decided to just remake it. Except this time, it's not going to be in the form of a top 10 video. It's just going to be about internet challenges in general. Both good, bad, and the ugly. Keep in mind, since this is a remake, I might repeat similar lines and jokes. I also can't show any footage that might be seen as dangerous. Yeah, you can talk about them as much as you want, but whatever you do, don't you dare show them in action! What sense does that make, Remember back in driver's ed when they showed us videos on the dangers of drinking and driving? You think it would have been more effective if they didn't show any clips of the wreckage caused by drunk drivers and the many lives they ruined because of it? Quit trying to pretend that there is no such thing as tragic consequences. Sometimes you need to show people the ugly truth. Otherwise, they might end up becoming a part of it. So let's begin the video, shall we? Man, what a weird segue. You hear that? There's a train going on out there. So what exactly is an internet challenge? Well, I guess you could say it's the online equivalent of a dare. Do it or be square. And while there do exist plenty of good ones, it's always the bad ones that seem to get the most attention. Thanks to the news. Yeah, we get it. Life really sucks. We don't need to be reminded at this point. Seriously, anyone who enters adulthood can figure that out instantly. An internet challenge is where you do a particular task and share it on social media. And for the most part, they're not that bad. I mean, sure, there are some that are rather lame and some that make you want to cringe, but it's all harmless fun. Except when it isn't. And that's what I'm mostly going to focus on today. Now obviously I can't cover every single internet challenge that's out there. There are tons of them. And I'm pretty sure there will be more after this video. Heck, the most recent one I can think of as of now is the coronavirus challenge, where you lick a public toilet seat and risk getting the coronavirus. You know, I would give myself the biggest facepalm I've ever gotten in my life, but I don't want to risk getting a concussion, so it's best that I refrain myself in doing so. For the time being. It really feels like people are trying way too hard to create the next big viral challenge, to the point to where it's nuts. Not only that, but sometimes these challenges can just be completely random. Like there's this one called the Banana Sprite Challenge, where all you do is eat 2 bananas and drink 1 liter of Sprite as fast as you can without vomiting. What? Folks, I think I have seen all there needs to be seen at this point. Since when does being a nuisance count as a challenge? You hardly have to try. There are internet challenges out there where it's less of a challenge and more of being a complete jerk. There are 2 internet challenges and a prank involving your local grocery store. The first one is called the Ball Pit Challenge. You know how some supermarkets have what looks like a giant cage filled with inflatable balls of different shapes and sizes? Yeah, somebody thought it would be a great idea to treat these things as if they were an actual ball pit. Genius. Yeah, just climb into them, inevitably fall through, and just scatter the balls everywhere. This always seems to take them by surprise, and it's like, what did you think was gonna happen? Then we have the Ice Cream Challenge, where all you do is take a tub of ice cream from the freezer shelves and take the lid off and then give a big good lick on the ice cream and then just close the thing and then put it back in the freezer shelves. Yeah, that's it. What's that even supposed to accomplish? It's vile and disgusting. Much like their souls. Then you have the gallon smashing prank. What you do is that you take a 2-gallon jug of milk in each hand, walk down the aisle, and throw them as hard as you can on the floor while tripping, making it look like it was an accident. I don't get it. How does purposely destroying merchandise count as a prank? That's not how it works, you idiots. There's something seriously wrong with these people. They're damaging products and goods and labeling their mischievous actions as nothing more than a fun little game. Well, listen here, you born-again half-wits. Vandalizing, damaging, or causing a mess on someone's property is not funny. It's infuriating and distasteful. Grow up. Please. You know, there's nothing worse than completing a challenge and bragging about it, when in reality, you didn't do diddly. Here we have a bunch of challenges that involves concealing yourself. Yeah. That's right. First up is the 24-hour fort challenge. What you do in this challenge is that you go to any major retailer, such as Target, Walmart, or even places such as Costco and IKEA. You can actually do this at any store, really, but people tend to go for the more popular ones, because that's how all YouTubers think. You basically try to find a hiding spot and hide in it throughout the day without getting seen by the staff. And once the store closes, you pretty much have the entire place to yourself, similar to how the Wet Bandits did it in Home Alone 2. Pardon me, but isn't that a crime? Another thing you can apparently do in this challenge is wander around the store and collect various items in order to build your super secret fort. You don't have to pay for this stuff, by the way. You can just grab whatever you want off the shelves and treat the place as if it were your own. But don't worry, according to these guys, it's completely fine as long as you put the items back on the shelves once the challenge is over.
Make sure you put stuff back. So if you get stuff for the inside of the fort, when you're done building the fort and done with everything, put them back where you got them.
Sure, I may have covered this pillow in my sweat and drool stains, sneezed on it at least 3 times, and used it to blow my nose as I cry myself to sleep, but as long as I put it back on the shelf, it's all okay. Bunch of idiots. How about actually being a responsible adult and actually pay for this stuff? And while you're at it, do something better with your life instead of submitting yourself to this nonsensical dreck. It's absolutely hilarious when these people do this challenge at a Walmart. A Walmart! You know, the store that's open 24/7. If you can be there legally, then you're not really breaking any rules other than just being a pest. The only real challenge that comes at that point is being there for a full 24 hours. Yeah, about that. Most, if not all of these videos don't live up to the name. Why? Well, it's pretty obvious once you see the video length. They're all less than 30 minutes, which means there are tons of uncut footage of them being in their stupid little secret fort of some kind. So how can you really tell if they've actually been there for a full 24 hours? You can't. They'll occasionally show how much time has passed, but that can easily be staged. All you have to do is adjust the time in between cuts and no one will ever know. And I doubt that most of these YouTubers have actually been there for more than an hour. In fact, an hour's worth of footage is all you really need. I mean, if the video is going to be less than 30 minutes long, why not? What's the point of having the remaining 23 hours if it's going to be cut from the final product? For YouTubers, that's an outrageous thing to do. Time is extremely valuable to these people. Don't let a second go to waste. Now, I'm not saying that the videos have to be 24 hours long each. You could have easily just put the entire duration at the end of the video, add a time code, and then speed it up to where it's only 1 to 10 minutes long. That way you have concrete proof that you've actually been there for a full day. But instead, we're just gonna have to take their word for it. Well, you know what? And I'm not saying this because I'm a vegetarian, but their baloney, I don't buy it. There's another challenge that's quite similar to the 24-hour fort challenge, and that's the overnight challenge. In this one, you spend the night or even an entire day, I doubt it, at a certain location without getting caught. Now, most of these always seem to take place at a friend's house, but what's even more perplexing than that is that there are some of these that even take place at a stranger's house. Yeah, supposedly. Obviously. Now, I've seen a number of these videos, and they're all clickbait for the most part. The title suggests that they're going to a stranger's house, but within the video itself, they flat out say that they know who this person is.
This time in a stranger's house. So, I actually know this person.
There's this guy I used to go to high school with. I haven't seen him in a real long time.
You will find out when we get into the video who the stranger was. You will all recognize him.
You've betrayed what little faith I put in you. And hey, if you want to play it safe, how about doing the overnight challenge in your own home? Yes, these actually exist. This is by far the dumbest thing I have ever seen. Look at this nonsense. I spent the night at my own house and nobody knew. That's because nobody cares. And finally, we have the human mail challenge. Goody. The way it works is that you put yourself inside a box along with supplies such as food, water, adult diapers, and of course a video camera to vlog your epic adventure. You then get someone to tape the box shut and then get yourself mailed to a certain location. Good riddance. And this location can be anywhere really. It can range from your friend's house to a completely different country. And of course, much like the overnight challenge, there are some of these where they ship themselves to a stranger's house. We're really at this again. Come on now. You can easily stage this stuff. Just have a friend record you getting packaged and then taken to the post office. Except that you won't actually be shipped from the post office at all. That would be ludicrous. Your friend immediately brings you back and loads you into his car as he safely drives you to the location you're being shipped to. Record yourself inside the box during the entire road trip. As your friend reaches the destination, place the box on the doorstep and proceed with whatever scripted shenanigans you have in store for us. Yippee. You see, with a ton of lies and a little video editing magic, you can make the audience believe in anything. I just find it degrading how there are so many people that participate and complete a challenge when in reality, they flat out cheated. Another reason why people partake in these absurd challenges is because they might get the chance to become internet famous. Because who doesn't want to become a celebrity from doing stupid things? So you have a lot of people participating in a challenge only to elevate it even more just to make themselves look tougher or thinking outside the box. For example, there's the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which is a really good challenge. It's where you pour a bucket of ice water over your head and spread awareness of the ALS disease. Like the name implies, all you need is a bucket. That's it. But then you have those who really want to stand out from the crowd by upgrading that to a garbage bin or even a bulldozer. Or is that a tractor? It doesn't matter, it's not important. Point is, there's always going to be those who needlessly blow things out of proportions when it's completely unnecessary. It's like using a table saw to cut a pizza when you could have easily just used a pizza cutter. Like this one here, I got a lightsaber one. And this is where internet challenges can become so extreme, they're borderline dangerous. Like I said earlier, there is in fact a challenge called the Fire Challenge, where you literally set your body on fire and quickly jump into a pool of water or a running shower. Whatever body of water they get themselves into is not enough to wash off their overall stupidity. And I'm pretty sure most of you have heard of the Tide Pod Challenge, where you try to eat a laundry detergent pod. Why in the world would they want to do that? Well, because the Tide Pods themselves look like delicious candy. I guess you could say this falls under the category of forbidden snacks. Things that look edible, but aren't. Like my homemade casserole, for example. If you thought that was nuts, there's even a challenge that involves drinking bleach. Oh my goodness almighty. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Wouldn't drinking bleach kill you? Well, I actually did see a video of someone doing the challenge years ago, and it is actually possible to survive it. But it's not a pretty sight because you'll end up puking blood in the process, so it's definitely not worth trying. The fact that I have to make that clear is disturbing enough as it is. Then there's neck nomination. It's a challenge that involves chugging a large alcoholic beverage, usually done as quickly as possible. Now you're probably thinking, what's so bad about that? People drink all the time. How's this any different? Well, how about the fact that the drinks in this challenge are just ridiculously nuts? It's basically a drinking competition where these people try to outdo one another. They mix all kinds of alcoholic beverages and spirits into a single drink, such as whiskey, tequila, vodka, whatever smells like gasoline. What's worse is that, like the name implies, you nominate or neck nominate someone else to do the challenge, so they're deliberately trying to spread it like some unwanted virus. We don't need that. We already have one that's been a real pain in the anus. But the real tragic thing about this challenge is that people have actually died from doing it. You know, I always thought that the purpose of doing a challenge was to have fun, not to flirt with death in exchange for fame. Seriously, even death himself would be like, "Yo dude, what the heck?" But the absolute worst challenge of them all is car surfing. Yeah. Now, like the name implies, you ride on top of a moving vehicle and pretend to be surfing. There are no safety equipment or harnesses involved whatsoever. What's worse is that there are even times where there is no one driving the car. Yeah, I am dead serious. There are a number of these videos where the driver is the surfer. As the vehicle accelerates, the driver would then proceed to climb out of their car and onto the roof while the vehicle is still in motion. In my video of the top 10 worst internet challenges, I listed this one as number 1. Because there's nothing worse than a challenge that not only puts your life in danger, but other people's lives as well. If the surfer were to fall off the vehicle, you basically have a runaway car that could crash into oncoming traffic or a group of pedestrians. It really is the absolute worst idea for a challenge ever. And I mean it. It really is unfortunate how there are people out there that are willing to put their lives on the line, all for the chance of getting exposure of some kind. It doesn't matter how stupid it is. There could be a challenge that involves getting hit in the face with a shovel, but if it becomes viral, then everyone will do it without question. But you really gotta ask yourself, is this really what you want to be known for? Potentially for the rest of your life? Even after death? There's a difference between being brave and being a complete idiot. It really goes back to the saying of, if someone were to jump off a bridge, would you do it as well? I'm always up for a good challenge. Trust me, I got plans for something spicy. But if the challenge involves becoming an absolute jerk or putting your life on the line by doing something stupidly dangerous, what's that supposed to prove? That you're nothing but a mindless sheep who would do anything without question because you want to be seen as a tough, cool guy? To a bunch of complete strangers on the internet, no less? Come on, you're better than that. As a human being, you need to have standards in order to be considered as one. So folks, always be careful when you're on the internet. While it can offer excellent things such as deep-fried memes, it can also be a source of bad influence. So do what's best for you and your family by not submitting yourself to these derogatory and life-threatening games. So thank you very much for attending today, and I hope to see you again. And remember, say no to bad internet challenges and say yes to deep-fried memes. So please, grab a ticket and join me next time. Admission is free. Take care and have a nice day.